I brought this assembly over into Autodesk Inventor, and so I have two revolution joints, and I used a 2D contact joint rather than a contact set. We'll come back to that in a minute. On this revolution joint, if I go to the properties of this revolution joint, I can put in some different information about torque and forces, so forth. That also I put it in. I can control either position, velocity, acceleration. I put it on velocity, and I put it in a constant value of 360 degrees per second. Now I could use the input grapher to define the graph of the motion that I want, and then work backwards from there to design the part. But anyways, I just put in a constant value. And then on this 2D contact, I put in a friction value of 0.15 and restitution. So if I drop a bowling ball, let's say from a certain height, or I drop a steel ball from a certain height, it's going to bounce up a certain amount. If I put the restitution as 1, it will bounce up the same height. If I do 0.1, it'll bounce 1/10 of that height that it was dropped from. And of course there's lots of other options in here. Let's see if I can show this manually. So if I drag this black arrow represents a force vector. So the longer that arrow is, the more force I'm putting onto the mechanism. And so we have a direction and a magnitude for that force. And I was trying to show here the bouncing. Let's see if I can see it in here. Now I put a little bit of a gap in between here to make this more realistic. And well, my gap is so small that we can't see, but there's actually a little bit of noise or bouncing between those two contacting faces. So I'll go ahead and play this simulation, and I can set whether I want to go clockwise or counterclockwise, whatever direction. I'm going to go to the output grapher, and so I have it set to graph the velocity of this joint, and let's also do this one. So this one is constant velocity, so it'll just be a straight line. There are a lot of other things that I can graph: positions, accelerations, forces, moments. There's lots of different things that I can to graph. Let's go back and I have it set to run for 10 seconds, and I have it set to do 1,000 calculations in that 10 seconds. I can set whatever number of calculations that I want for this. So there's a plethora of information here that I could get depending on what I'm after in my analysis.